Hello, Will here, and we are back in Skyrim and back with Dark Moon of Elsweyr. Now, in the first video, I gave you a quick guide to the main story of Dark Moon of Elsweyr, and in this video, we are going to be looking at some of the more, I can't say uniquer of the dungeons, but the prominent tombs, because you have 3 tombs, but we will also be looking at the Dwemer ruin, Arkamanthzift. But first off, we need to actually go and find them. And so the first place we're going to go to, which I currently do not have on the map, because I currently don't have any of them on the map, so that's always fun, is we are going to go and find the location for the Eye of the Forest tomb, which has its own little side questy thing in it. So we're going to go and activate that. We might actually also gain something kind of nice and unique at the same time. But for that, we need to go to Thornclaw. Alright, now that we're here at Thornclaw, now you don't need to do this to find the location of the Eye of the Forest tomb, but we are going to go to this abandoned house, as there's something inside this house, the abandoned home, which ties in to the Eye of the tomb. Now, as you can see, it is locked, but I do have the ring of unlocking, so I can just open it up and cheat.
What was this?
It was me. It was me, Quazja. I don't know how you pronounce that name. Alright, so you got Quazja. Or yeah, I don't know how you would pronounce that. But you know, you're going to come into your band home, you're going to find this dude. And then, you know, he's going to have a couple of enemy daggers. And then have this note. Target. A terror. This one's target is a terror. They will most likely be hiding in Thornclaw. Use what means you believe is needed to get into information from them about what they stole from us. Do not return to Sanctuary until this one has found the stolen artifact. Upon return, this one will be rewarded greatly. So obviously he is here for a purpose, and that purpose is, well, a terror, which obviously he managed to get the target. Managed to get his target, but as you can see, he didn't have anything on him. He didn't have any kind of artifact. What about that? A terror has no artifact. So what's the artifact? Well, if you were to not get stuck behind some followers, and you were to look down here, you would see this knapsack. You know, and here you got a bit of gold. You got a lockbox key. So we're going to take that. There's also a note, and some other randomized loot. But we're going to read the note, because that's the thing that we want to find. We want to find the note. You know, we want to see what's on this note. This one thought the old lighthouse was a good place to hide that stolen artifact. Now that flying lizard has turned up, and now we cannot go and retrieve the artifact until the lizard has gone. Luckily, this one hid it in a lockbox, so only one who has the key can take the artifact. Alright. So, we find this lockbox, we find the artifact. To find this lockbox, we need to find a dragon. And that dragon is at the lighthouse. Alright, so, the lighthouse. Now, if you've watched my previous video, or if you've already been going through this but still haven't done this one, then you may already kind of roughly know where the lighthouse might actually be. But I have done a little update to this recently, with just fixing a little problem to do with the Dragonblade estate, with the weapon plaques in there. so they've been removed. And and I've just done a couple of extra little tweaks just to alter a couple of small little things, but nothing, nothing major. It was just sorting out a floating rock dice or sorting out something to do with some invisible furniture markers that could be used by the player. But also decided to add in a horse spell, which this was a suggestion by Dragonblade, and I thought, you know what, that seems like a fair enough idea. But before we get the other horse, another thing that I did also add, which again was another suggestion by Dragonblade, just to sort of like help out. Now I don't know if there could actually be any here. I can't remember if did I put any up here or did I not? I don't think I put any up here. Well, I'll show you what the other suggestion is once I find one, because there's only a few of them dotted around the place. But first off, this horse spell. So it's normal conjuration spell. You can buy the book from Hermes on the airship. I think the book stands for like 250 gold. It's not an expensive book. And yeah, so it's a horse spell. Doesn't cost you anything to cast it. And then you just go for the douche. And then here we go. Arkamanthzift. So we're gonna get on Arkamanthzift. Now, but you do have to bear in mind, Arkamanthzift is a pretty fast horse. Yeah, Arkamanthzift's got a bit of speed. To them. So as you can see on my compass now, you got that lighthouse icon. That is where we are needing to go. So we're just gonna charge down here. So I'm gonna follow the path like normal, because I also want to show you the other secondary thing, which is basically it's a rudimentary sign system, just to sort of help with navigating around the island a little bit, just so it's a little bit easier to get around. So obviously on some of the paths, actually let's just pass some time. We'll get it to daytime. Okay, now that we got some sunshine, it's a bit easier to see. So you'll come across like these rudimentary road signs like this. Now obviously there's nothing on the actual sign, again because I can't bring in an external asset with words on the signs. But if you look at them, it says, well, you can't take it obviously, but it says to Thornclaw, to Terror, to Parlet. So obviously these are all just pointing you in the rough direction of which path you need to go down to get to which major town. That's basic the gist of all it. That's the gist of what it does. It's a simple rudimentary sign system, just to help you with getting around the island. Alright, and here we are. So just over there is the lighthouse, but obviously, as you can see, there is the lizard problem. So we got another dragon. Lucky enough, this is just an elder dragon. It's not a unique dragon. So we just gotta take out this dude. We'll get him interested in this first. Is he interested? No, not yet. Come on. I'm a tasty, juicy morsel of food. And right there. So, right. Alright. And dragon down. Cool. Now, obviously, we're going to get your soul, because why not? Now, the dragon themselves, this dragon, it doesn't have what we're looking for, but, get a little bit of extra loot from it. Right. So, obviously, we're going to be here trying to find a lockbox. Now, obviously, naturally, this is not the lockbox we are looking for, but the place to get a little bit of loot. So we're gonna take that. I get a bit of extra bit of loot there. Around here, we got another chest, but this is also not the lockbox. But you can get another set of blades, armor and stuff if you want it, but that is not the lockbox we are looking for. So for the lockbox, if you're looking for the lockbox, you'll see just down here, lockbox requires key. Now yeah, obviously yes, I could cheat it and not get the key, but we got the key, we'll do this properly. There you go. So in here, you got 200 gold and Shadow Walker. Wearer is muffled and moves silently. Created potions are 50% more powerful. Bows do 30% more damage. One-handed attacks do 30% more damage. And lockpicking is 50% easier. So all in all, not as shabby, I don't think. It's a nice little artifact. But right. So this is just like a little bonus thing. This is nothing to do with the actual tomb, but it is a story related to what the tomb and Eye of the Forest is actually about. But right, so with that little bonus bit out of the way, we are actually going to head off now to the tomb of the Eye of the Forest. Alright, so there's two different ways to get to the tomb of the Eye of the Forest. You can either just literally, if you look literally down there, effectively it's Thornclaw. Basically. So literally, you might be able to actually see possibly a roof of the bathhouse, actually, just where my cursor is. So you can either basically effectively climb this little bit of a cliffscape, which is a lot easier on a horse. So, you know, Elsweyr armor, get me a bit of use. Or you can go round, but it's a very long way around. So it all depends on how you want to approach it. Right, so we'll just carry on. Just get this. I just accidentally hit my horse. It's a very fast horse, so he appears out of nowhere. Alright. So we're just going to run up here. Take care of the sentry. Smash. Carry on a little bit. Because what we're doing is we're heading to this cave marker here. As you can see, they're essentially all over. Alright. Him down. Alright. There we got Eye of the Forest Ruins. So here is the Eye of the Forest Ruins, secondarily known as Tomb of the Eye of the Forest, or Eye of the Forest Tomb. Alright. Yeah, it's all dark and spooky. So this is one of the 3 so-called tombs that are found within the island. Into which this is probably this is probably the easiest one of the lot. You know, this is you know, baby's first steps for tombs. But it is dark, you know, so you know, possibly bringing in some light may help you out. So yeah, you're probably not going to be able to see much on your screen at the moment, because it is as dark as hell in here. So we're going to sneak around. Well, I don't need to sneak around, I can run around like an idiot. But inside here, you will find a bunch of assassins. There's an assassin. There goes the assassin. And you know, if you want, you can get all the Dark Brotherhood armor from these assassins as well. Into which that's what we're going to do. We're going to take his. Fine now. And we've got to take out this person up here. Oof. Oof. But yeah, so this first one is, though obviously uniquely designed, this one is not unique in the ways of what you can find inside of it. As you know, yeah, you'll find some bits of loot, stuff like that. You know, you'll find a couple of chests lying around the place. You'll be able to get some stuff from the assassins themselves. You know, all this and all that. But you know, but that's all there is. But you know, it's not designed to be some kind of ancient structure that's been like hidden away for thousands of years, sort of thing.
You start running so I can stab you in the back.
Oof. You know. So you know, yeah, you'll be able to find some, you know, you'll be able to find some basic loot in here, this, that, and the other. It ties into the whole thing with that abandoned house in that you bump into Thornclaw.
Is someone there?
You are able to get yourself a new ring if you follow the sub-story. But you know, you're able to get yourself a a kind of a powerful enchanted ring. If you follow the sub-story of the stolen artifact, yeah. And obviously, eventually you'll get to this, and you'll get to this Akabia ruin. But unfortunately, it's all it's all caved in, it's all broken to pieces, and unfortunately, you just can't go any further. But this is the Eye of the Forest, Eye of the Tomb, Eye of the. I can't even get the name right. Eye of the Forest Ruins, aka Tomb of the Eye of the Forest, or the Eye of the Forest Tomb. It's over the months of me creating this mod. This place has sort of gathered like quite a fair bunch of names. Quite a fair few bunch of names. But right, so that's it for the first one. Again, the first one is a bit more, though obviously uniquely designed in the ways of contents and what's in it. It's a little bit more simplified and a bit more baby's first tomb. But right, now that we're outside, we are going to move on to the second tomb, which is Tomb of the Moon Priest, into which Tomb of the Moon Priest can be found basically just off the shore of Lake Rothmare, which at the moment we haven't found Lake Rothmare. An easy way to Lake Rothmare is literally to go via Thornclaw. So you can either go through the entire town of Thornclaw and out what would be the sort of like the northern exit and go right, or if you come to what is effectively sort of like the more southern entrance, if you go around this way of the stable, so instead of going that way, you come this way, and you'll be able to travel up this road here. Alright, so as you can see, if you go around to this entrance, there's it. Thornclaw, you also have this path. So if you go up this way, follow this path, and then you'll just run up here. Again, we are gonna have a slight little issue with LOD when it comes to loading in the lake. Let's take care of that sentry. Carry on up here. We've discovered Lake Rothmare. So technically this is a massive lake. Though albeit LOD doesn't justify it, because somebody sucked. But we're going to follow the path. Now obviously the path is a little overgrown. But we're going to follow what we can see of the path. Taking down some sentry along the way. Missed him. We're just going to carry on running up here until we get to here, and here we are. Tomb of ow. Here we are, Tomb of the Moon Priest. We've got a few of these guys to take out here. Alright, and done. So yeah. So we'll just show you on the map. So obviously you got Thornclaw there. As you can see, either Forest Ruins are up there. Rothmare's Child there, Lake Rothmare Child there, and Tomb of the Moon Priest. Right, just did a quick level up, and so we are now going to head inside the Tomb of the Moon Priest. Alright, and here we are. So once again, its beginning is fairly similar to the Eye of the Forest. Another long walk down, not as dark, definitely not as dark. But you got a bit of walk down, or in this case, run down. Yep. And here we have a cultist who is apparently dead. All right. And what we were looking for was looking for this sort of like what looks like a bit of a ruin because, well, technically it is. Tomb of the Moon Priest ruins. And here we are. We also straight away got Corrupted Darkness. Well, that's the Corrupted Darkness now. Now they're all the Corrupted Darkness. They're all going to have this kind of thing, little ghost blade. Again, though, yeah, the thing isn't exceptionally powerful or all that. But hey, you can either use it or you might be able to disenchant it. I'm not totally sure because I think it is a vanilla base game weapon. I'm going to take you down. And here we are. Obviously, something went wrong in here. Mainly because all the Khajiit cultists are, one, dead. For starters. Come here. So yeah, obviously they're all dead, so that's probably not the best start for them. And also we got all the, basically, this corrupted darkness. Question is, so where did this corrupted darkness come from? Yeah, so we're going to have a look around. Yeah, with a lot, you know, technically a lot of these dungeons and stuff like that, your followers should be able to follow you in. But again, due to nav mesh, primarily on the island, not so much the dungeons, it can be a bit off from time to time. And the AI will struggle a little bit with it, but they can eventually get there. No. Yeah, so they're coming here, and then it's got a bit of some random chests that I could go around just rob. I mean, the cultists don't really have much on them, but you know, the cultists, why would they? So we're just going to rob them of their treasure from in here. No, I don't really want that one. Right. So we got that. Don't need that now. You just carry on. We'll go this way. And then down the spooky, spooky stairs. Spooky. No. Okay, so we got obviously something very bad happened. This place got basically destroyed to shit. The more dead cultist. Oh, these guys got something on. Nice one. And you. No. You're a poor cultist. You have just been absolutely mangled. Absolutely mangled. And there we go. There is the big bad. Well, I say big bad. I'm probably going to kill him quite easily. But Rel, the Unforgiver. I'm just gonna smack him around a little bit. Yeah, smash, smash. Alright. Nice and easy. But again, if you're playing on this very low levels, without like very powerful items, yeah, you might struggle a little bit, possibly. But also, Rel the Unforgiver, and he's got a lot of money. But he also has this. Eye of the Moon. One-handed attacks do 50% more damage, two-handed attacks do 50% more damage, increases your health by 70 points, increases stamina by 100 points. So all in all, pretty powerful. Alright, got on a quick diet, got rid of so many items I don't really need. But we've got the main item in here, which is his mask. Let's have a little look at his mask. Now what does it look like when it's on this? And there we go. Unfortunately, the lighting here is not great, but there we go. The Eye of the Moon mask. Yeah. Fuck yeah. But we're not going to wear that because my armor rating has now just dropped, unfortunately. So we're just going to put back on Warlock's Jewel. Is there a reason why I can't wear the Ring of Shadow? Oh yeah, it's because I need to wear that. Okay. Let's carry on. But as you can see as well, in here, you've got a whole bunch of boss chests just all just lined up, ready for the looting. Alright. So that is the Tomb of the Moon Priest. So next, we are going to move on See, we're gonna do the third and final tomb last because it's a very more unique compared to any other dungeon in this mod. So next, what we're actually gonna do is we are gonna go to Arkamanthzift. But before we go to Arkamanthzift, we're going to bring attention to something that I brought up in my previous video about two particular books. Alright, so we've just come back to the player home or Dragonblade estate for the moment because I want to look at two books that are in here that are linked to the Dwarven Ruin and the final tomb for us to look at. Alright. So, when you come into here, now these two books, they can be brought from certain merchants, like Hermes, the general goods trader, and I think primarily most of the merchants who would more than likely sell books in general, you can buy them from, but you can get them without needing to buy them from within the Dragonblade estate. Which we got this one here, Trial of the Sandwalker. Now this is for what is the last tomb, known as the Tomb of the Walker of Sands. So I'm just going to take it. Now, you do actually get to learn, it does help you increase a couple of skills. So, you know, Trial of the Sandwalker helps, you know, increases your illusion skill. And then we also got the Arkamanthzift Codex, which increases your smithing skill. So the first one we're going to kind of look at a little bit is the Arkamanthzift Codex, which is this one. So we're going to have a little look at this one. I'm not going to read the entire thing because, you know, it's a bit longish. But, you know, so like, you know, you got the Arkamanthzift Codex by Wilhelm Schmidt. And, you know, and basically what this book is basically about, which obviously you can pause it whilst I'm flipping through the pages if you want to read it yourself. It's just basically talking about this dwarven ruin called Arkamanthzift. And, you know, it's sort of, you know, it's an account of what, like, historians, explorers, scholars, you know, what they believed it to have been used for, or what it could have possibly been used for, you know, and it's just a little account of, like, sort of like, to try and think, like, you know, what was it used for? What did they use it for? What was it? Was it a workshop? Was it a military factory? Was it this? Was it that? We don't know, but it'd be nice to find out, kind of thing, you know. So a generalized scholar book. Now it doesn't give you any clues to where it is or where to go and find it or what to expect to find inside of it or anything like that. It's just a little lore book tied to Arkamanthzift. So we are now going to go to Arkamanthzift, and for that we need to go to Parlet because it's a bit easier to get to Arkamanthzift from Parlet. Alright, so as you can see on the map, I'm sort of like up in the very north of the island. As you can see, Parlet is just there. So we need to come up to the very north of the island until you see this bridge. Now I'm going to take the horse across the bridge because this is a very long bridge. There we go. Here we are at Arkamanthzift. So it's a Dwemer ruin, obviously, as it's been previously mentioned. So over there is the entrance to actual Arkamanthzift itself. Or you can come up here, and if you come up here, you've got a couple of outbuildings. You know, which you know you can just, you know, obviously just go in, rob, you know, take their stuff. You know, they're not going to need it. Then they're no, you know, they're not alive anymore, are they? They're not going to miss it. Yeah, I'll take that ring. And yeah, so you know, you'll be able to go into all three of these buildings. And they'll, they'll have little bits of loot in them, stuff like that. Nothing crazy, but a little, just a nice little bit of loot, boy. But what we're going to obviously want to look at is obviously Arkamanthzift itself. It's obviously, yeah, as you can see, we do have some Centurions dotted around everywhere. So we're just going to go this way. Into which, obviously, this guy's going to come alive, aren't you? Look at that, he came alive. How lovely. How good for him. Now, stay down. Alright. We're just going to deal with them. I'm not going to worry about searching him just yet, I'll probably search him later. Alright, and we're going to get here, and we're going to go into Arkamanthzift. Alright. So, open this door, and here we are in some fancy blue cave. Ooh. It's bluey, it's Blackreach all over again. So yeah, in this first bit of the cave, yeah, is it going to be anything crazy and mental? No. Are there some Centurions around? Yes. Right, so that's him down. Now you can see there's a, there's a basic path for you to follow. So you can see over there, there's obviously looks like some kind of entrance way over there. Obviously, also another Centurion. And if you follow this path, it takes you to another one of these kind of entrance ways here. So it's going to quickly just take care of this dude over here. Alright, that's him dealt with. Yeah, we'll take some of his stuff. Why not? Another thing you will find, dotted around this cave are these Geothermal Veins. So, if I can remember correctly, Geoveins, they only appear in Blackreach. And I think, if you remind them, you get soul gems from them. Obviously, they're going to be empty soul gems, but it is a soul gem. So you can stock up on a supply of soul gems. Alright. So yeah, in this first bit, it's just a big, very sort of big cave kind of area. Obviously, it looks like it's a lot of, I don't know, would you say Ethereum? Maybe this is Ethereum. It could be just this. It could be Ethereum. It could be just what the material that soul gems themselves are made out from. There's nothing concrete, but it's there. So we're going to go in here, and we're going to go into the Arkamanthzift ruins. Right, and here we are in the ruins. So this is obviously going to be the meat of Arkamanthzift. See straight away, we've got some bloody Sphere Guardians to get rid of. They're going to have their randomized loot, all this and all that. Over there, give them a punch, give them a sack, and then just bob them with this shit. Alright, let's carry on. Get on this way. Doo-doo. So we got another sphere. Smash. And that's him down. Now, you see, we got a locked gate here. Fortunately, it's locked. Requires key. Now, yes, I can cheat it, or I can just show you the location of the key. So, yeah, you probably, I would have already put it at the beginning, but yes, spoilers. So if you don't want anything to be actually spoiled for you, then yeah, maybe don't watch this video. And only watch this video after you've done it, just to make sure that you got everything. This dude. Oh, the Arkamanthzift. It's obviously been abandoned for a very long time. Yeah. The Dwemer did disappear thousands of years ago. So, it's just been abandoned for a very, very long time. I'm just going to take this dude up. And got it. For you. Should be over here. cutting a bit of a jig there, he is. Cutting a bit of a jig. Alright. And yeah, they're not obviously in here, you'll find some like the dresses and stuff like that. Generalized Dwemer stuff. Obviously nothing amazing. But if you go over to here, to this statue, just here is the Arkamanthzift storeroom key. So we're going to take that. Alright, so we are back at the locked gate. And then we just unlock that, and then we can get in. As you can see, we got a metric ton of dwarven metal ingots. Now, I'm not going to take it because my carry weight at the moment is getting close to its limit, so I'm obviously not going to take it. But, you got a metric ton of them. But you also got a metric ton of golden ingots. Now, I think the only problem is when you activate one, a bunch of them will just fall down. So we're going to take a bunch, I'm not going to take all, I'm not going to be here, I'm not going to stay here forever grabbing every single one of them, because sod that. And then also just like, along the side of the walls, you got all of these, a lot of other little chests that you can just take stuff from. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, and bada bing. Increases stamina by 20 points. But now I had the problem of being over encumbered. So I need to get rid of some stuff. Again. Oh, I love how I have to keep getting rid of stuff. Alright, so get rid of that. Don't need that. Alright, I'll be back once I've sorted. It's time to go on another diet.
Alright, hello! Past, future will here, or future past will, or however you want to put it, because none of it's going to make a lick of sense anyway. But right, the recording may sound a little bit different, and it may come across a little bit different as my commentary audio didn't record on this bit, and for the rest of the video. So, as you can see at the moment, we are looking at the Eclipse Armor, which is a sort of a newly added armor added in to Arkamanthzift after in the storeroom after we got the key. And so yeah, I'm just going to take them all. But yeah, the commentary is going to be a little bit different here because I'm not doing this at the same time as playing it, because again, for some reason my commentary audio didn't capture, it didn't record. So I'm doing this literally the day after I did it, so am I going to be able to remember exactly what I did? No. So it may sound a bit different, and also I'm recording in a slightly different way, using a different setup for the recording, so it's going to probably sound a bit different to the rest of the video as well. So, just want to get that out of the way. But yeah, we're just going to knock everything off, because screw it. But yeah, we got the Eclipse Armor now, so we're going to basically just going to have a look at the stats. So, the Eclipse Flutes, whereas Method move silently, stamina regenerates 9% faster, so not too shabby. Eclipse Plate increases magic resistance by 50%. I think there is actually another enchantment on that. Increases magic by 100 points, pickpocket is 50% better, and one-handed attacks do 50% more damage. And then we'll get the Eclipse Hood. Come on, me. Come on, thank you. And bows do 50% more damage, eluding spells cost 30% less to cast, created potions are 40% more powerful. But yeah, I think there is a secondary enchantment on the Eclipse chest plate, but it doesn't state it in the description, which I think, if I can remember correctly, I can't actually remember what it was, but I think it might be something similar to avoid death. So it's like, once you, when you get down to a certain amount of health, there's a chance that suddenly a healing spell will kick in and restore your health by a certain amount, or by a certain amount of points. But it's normally a perk and not an actual spell, so that's why it doesn't say it on there. But you'll have to have a look in the effects, active effects, to see if I'm correct on that or not. So I can't bloody remember. But right, with all of that stuff done, we are going to carry on. Now we've already been in that room up there, So we're going to go that way later. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to take on Blitzkrieg, or basically the big bad in this place. So he's not going to be, he's not going to be too difficult. Yeah, you can see he can pack a punch, but also he can't really take much of a punch. Or at least when I'm using pre, he can't take much of a punch. There you go, he's already down. Yeah, so got Blitzkrieg down again. You might, some people might find him a bit challenging. Some people will find him relatively easy. But yeah, most of his loot is going to be just randomized leveled loot. Nothing crazy. Apart from, I think, the gold ingots, which is something I gave him to have, as well as the enchanted crossbow, Thunderous Charge. Targets takes 3 points shock damage and has much magic damage, as well as 10 points of health. And you can see, it's quite, it's quite a damaging weapon. So all in all, probably not too shabby. And since there are spheres in here, you will get some bolts, so you can use that straight away. Now, also something else I added in is I added in the collection of the ethereal items. So the ethereal crown, the ethereal staff, the ethereal shield, So I added them in because I originally wanted you to be able to use the forge, but I couldn't get it to work. I don't know if this was because of a quest, because it's related to a quest, or because of something else, or I just was doing something wrong. I'm not 100% sure, because I know it is related to the quest for the Ethereum Forge in the base game. But also there is another unique item there, which we'll look at in a second. I stare at the ethereal staff for a little while, so I think I don't want to take. Do I want to take that down? No, I don't want to take it. It's crap. The ethereal staff is rubbish, so I'm not going to bother taking that. But you do get this, the silver-plated Ethereum sword. So these technically these items were like a late edition, and yeah, as you can see, yeah, it is just like a retexture of the glass sword. Yeah, I could have used Chill Rend to keep with the kind of like blue motif, but I wanted it to be different as well, so that's why I gave it that kind of chrome look, and then called it a silver-plated Ethereum sword, rather than being a silver Ethereum, because Ethereum in Skyrim lore is not silver, it's blue. So I thought, I'm going to make sure that it is, the name justifies of why it's called that. Oh. Okay, I wanted to move my time bar along so I could see what the hell I'm doing, but nope, it's about to go off the screen soon, so then after that I'm literally blind to what exactly is going on. So expect the commentary to get off and weird and odd and out of place. But right, so yeah, also on these shelves here you can find Ethereum Quests. So normally these two items you would normally only get obviously one in the game, because you have to use it during the Ethereum Forge quest. But also it's a quest item normally. So normally if you pick it up, you wouldn't be able to drop it until it's used. And then once it's used, it disappears because you already used it in the forge. But with these ones, I've slightly altered them, so now you can actually pick them up. You should be able to sell them to a vendor. More than likely, most likely just a general merchant is the one who will buy them. That's your best chance of selling them, is to a general merchant. But as you can also see, you can drop them. So you can pick them up and you don't have to worry about lugging a load of them around for ages. You pick them up, go to your nearest general merchant, send them off. But right, so that is getting sort of near to the end. That's basically it for Arkamanthzift. In quick terms, simple terms. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, nope, my bar moved along. I can see what I've done on my cut, so I won't get weird with the commentary. Lovely. But yeah, so Arkamanthzift's done. So we're gonna move on. Where we're going to move to next is it's going to be the final tomb and final dungeon for this video, which is the Tomb of the Walker of Sands, which I know a couple of people I've had a couple of comments on it where people have like struggled a little bit with the first main room, which is the Paths of Sands. So yeah, you're not going to see me do the whole entire thing, but I will give an explanation to how it works and what you're supposed to do if you are someone who's actually also struggling with it, or if you think there's a bug because of it, because some people were saying that they thought it was a bug, and technically it isn't a bug. It's actually designed the way it is on purpose. But once I finally decide to travel there, it takes me a while to travel there because I'm supposed to be talking at this point. But we should get there in a second, and boom, right. Tomb of the Walker of Sands. So you'll get to see. I'll show you on the map where it is. So you can see we are there, Tomb of the Walker of Sands, and as you can see, it's a little bit sort of like northeast. It's northeast of Parlet. So, and it's not too far away from Parlet. So you can get there quite easily from Parlet. And also there is a book relating to this dungeon itself, called The Trial of the Sandwalker, which it's just a little lore book. It doesn't get it doesn't go into like massive depth about the lore of the Trial of the Sandwalker, but it is there. As you can see, it's written by William Svensson, which should translate to William Smith technically, which is my name. As well as the Arkamanthzift Codex, which is written by Wilhelm Schmidt, which to me, I know Wilhelm is German, and Schmidt kind of sounds like it would be from Germany. And but William Svensson, if I'm correct, that should translate to William Smith, which is my name. But yeah, this is just like a little lore book. It just goes into like ideas of lore into what the trial was for. What it's supposed to represent, who took it, why did they take it, this, that, and the other. Obviously, you can either go and read the book yourself, or you can just pause the video, read it, thing, bada boom. Now, it does give you some kind of little tiny hints, but very subtle hints. So it's like it says about the first trial is about to always, I think it's like, let the light of Jode guide your way, or Joan guide your way. So that kind of actually plays in to how you get through the Path of Sands. Now we should be going in there in a second. I'm just staring at a floating woman here. The Lost Maiden seems to be floating in the air a little bit. I don't know why. Maybe she's become magical all of a sudden. Alright, so we should be going in and getting to the first room, which the first room is just a very small little tiny hub room. Alright, so I'm in a little tiny hub room, which is only 2 doors. The way you came in, and the way to carry on through the actual trial itself. But there is another little journal in here which you can find when I eventually get around to finding it. So hurry up me. Yeah, so it'll be in that knapsack. Don't go look in the rib cage. Take the torch. It might be useful. Actually, it does come useful. Look in that. Yeah, thank you, me. Look in the knapsack, me. But yeah, so you'll see this journal, and it's like, if you find this journal, leave its place. This one was not prepared and will now suffer the price. Not enough torches, not enough light. This one's eyes of night did not help with the dark and nearly fell many times. This one only has the strength left to leave one last message. Bring the light of the moons. If one does not, and the fall does not kill, the never-ending loop will take one's sanity. It's a little bit foreboding, to a degree. It's not like extremely dark and like macabre, but a little bit of foreboding. It's like, yeah, it's to help try and get you an idea of what's ahead. Alright, so into the Path of Sands. Now, you can probably see why some people might have thought this room was glitched. Because you can see, there's a load of floating torches, they all have blue light, but there is no floor. Yeah, the weird kind of like texture thing that's going on in the background, that's something that's just to do with the actual game itself and the ways of how the room's set up. Because they all have like a background kind of like skybox kind of thing. but that's meant to be fog, but far distance fog. And no matter what I tried to do to adjust it, it didn't do anything with it at all. And, you know, I couldn't do anything about it. It's a pain in the ass. But what you need to do, technically, is you'll see that torch in front of me. I'm staring at it right now. And then once I decide to, come on me. Oh yeah. So yeah, quick saving here might be a good idea to do quick saves, because it may save you a lot of hassle. But what you're going to do is you're going to align yourself up with those torches. And then you will want to basically just walk forwards. And then there you go. Now there is a kind of pattern to this as well. So, you know, so yeah, once you get to here, you're probably thinking like, well, where do I go next? Which one do I go to? You know, because they're all torches. There's torches everywhere. Which one do I go to? So what you're going to do is you'll always want to basically go in the one that is in the most straight line. So it'll either be pretty much basically either the one that is to the left or the one that is to the right of the torch that you're at. So as you can see, this one is directly to the left of the torch I am at. So whereas the other ones are sort of like a bit off in diagonal directions, whereas this second one is in a straight line. So since it is in a straight line, you will want to head to that one. You just follow the invisible path, and eventually in the end I'll get to the end. Boom, I'm at the end. So then again, it's rinse and repeat. So that one is directly ahead of me in a straight line from that torch. So we're going to go from this torch to that torch, none of the others, because the other ones are all off at a slightly bit angle, but that one is straight ahead. So we'll go to that one, but with that done, we're going to cut ahead, and boom, made it to the end. But you know, I just wanted to give you a kind of a rough explanation of how this room works if you are struggling a little bit with it. Because yeah, there's nothing that holds your hand on this one directly to say, oh, you need to do all this and had to do this and do that, blah 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 blah. I didn't do anything with hand holding, so I just wanted to give it a rough explanation of how to do the mechanics of it, and then bosh. So then once you get to the end, you can finally leave the Path of Sands and go into the Memory of Sands, which is even worse than the Path of Sands. You thought the Path of Sands was bad. This is worse. I was the one. I created this fucking room. But just to give you an indication of how much of a nightmare this room freaking is, there are 46 connected doors. And when I connected them all, I connected them up all randomly. There's no distinct pattern. They are all randomized in connections. And you'll see what I mean in a second. So I'm gonna go basically, so I'll end up going through that door into what is this called the Memory of Sands again. And then I end up in a room with 4 more doors. So then I will end up going through another door, and you'll end up in a room that's exactly the same. But I've decided to cut ahead. To this, at this point I'm just making sure that I'm in the right. I'm sort of like getting the right way of doing it up, so I can explain to you which room you need to be in and which door you need to go through to get into the final room to get out of the Memory of Sands. So as you can see, the room I'm in, and you can see it's got 4 doors. Now I'm facing away from the door that you need to go through. So when you're in this specific room I'm in, which as you can see is basically it's sort of like diagonally across from the room with 2 doors on the right hand side. So when you're in that when you're in that room that I'm in now, you'll want to go for the door that's on the bottom. Not the door to the left or to the right or at the top, but go for the door at the bottom of this room I'm in, and then that will take you into that room, which I'm pointing at now. into then where you can get into the bending of sands and get out of that room. Yes, it's probably not the best explanation, but this is the best explanation I could give whilst I'm trying to remember how long I was on the map for. So, you know, but hopefully you can obviously you can rewind the video, go through it again, and listen to my explanation, and eventually work it out. You'll know you're in the right room because you got this big boss chest in this room. So if you get into the room with a big boss chest, you're know in the right place, and then you also got the door to the bending of sands. So as long as you find that door, you can carry on. And now we're going to the upside down. The room that doesn't make much sense, for you are walking on the ceiling, technically. You're walking on the ceiling, though it looks like you're walking on the floor. Though the floor is the ceiling and the ceiling is the floor, but the ceiling looks exactly the same as the floor, and the floor looks exactly the same as the ceiling. So we just took care of the shade of oneself. And it's got a few good items, but it's also got the Sorcerer's Ring, increases magic resistance by 40%, magic regenerates 70% faster, and destruction spell costs 50% less to cast. So all in all, a nice powerful ring, the Sorcerer's Ring. And you can get a staff. Well, I don't bother taking the staff, but yeah, as you can see, the floor is the same as the ceiling is the same as the floor, the fire is going down, the water is going up. It's the upside down. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I just clear up the screen a little bit so it's not so blurred. But yeah, as you can see, yeah, it's a room. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Physically and logically, it doesn't make that much sense. But you can see there's a treasure chest on the ceiling, but it's too high up. You can't reach it. So how do you get it? Well, the intention is for you to not get it in this room. The intention is for you to get it in a very short moment. Once I finally decide to move on and actually get out the upside down. So yeah, you came in through the smaller door, so you're going to want to leave via the bigger door, the resting sands. So go through the resting sands, and then the room is the right way around. So now the fire is going up and the water's going down. And you're now walking on the floor rather than walking on the ceiling. And the chest is now on the floor rather than the ceiling. And so you can actually get the chest and get the treasure. So yeah, that is that is the Tomb of the Walker of Sands, basically. Yeah, it's probably a bit of a it could probably be a bit of a frustrating dungeon. But that's why they used it in lore. That's why they used it as a trial. I'm not going to try and read what that says because I can't see it properly on my screen because it's kind of blurred, the little writing, so I can't really see it. But go and get it yourself, and then you'll find out. But I think it's supposed to be. It does a certain amount of points of damage to each kind of like element. So fire, frost, and shock. But yeah. That is the Tomb of the Walker of Sands. And yeah, again, it probably is a bit of a frustrating dungeon at times. But hopefully, if you're trying this dungeon out and you're struggling with it, and hopefully you find this video, hopefully this helps you get through the Tomb of the Walker of Sands and actually get through the trial. But right, so we're all done here now, all done, finished, finito. That's the end of this video. In the next video, we will be going to like all the other like small little locations, other landmark locations, other dungeons and caves that are on the island. And then the video after that will be like just a little traveller's guide where I'm just going to be going to each town, going to all the buildings, seeing who's in there, seeing what kind of little secrets they might have in their buildings and stuff like that, looking at what shops there are, what shops are selling, and this and that and the other, So it would be sort of like a traveller's guide. But before that, we will be going to other places like Shatterclaw Cave, also Sanctuary Undying. We will be going to that one because there's a little tiny puzzle in Sanctuary Undying. But right, so that's going to be it for this video. So please remember to like and subscribe, and to share this video with some of your friends. Especially if you know someone who's going through this mod and are struggling with the Tomb of the Walker of Sands. You know, share this video with them. This video might help them out. And yeah, if you've got any other mod suggestions, let me know in the comments below. But right, time for me to get out of here. So until next time, I'll see you all later.